I figure if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. I'm going to give some proof here for that there globe. There's a curve out there, and I'm going to show it to you. And you might not believe it, but you know what? All these globe people tell me that you can obviously see the bottom of the boat disappearing first. So you have to ask yourself, well, what proof do they have of that? Well, it's obvious in a lot of my videos, man. I show that these boats are cut off, and there's the proof right there. Thank you, Wide Awake, for proving there's a globe out there, proving that there's a curve on that water. Thank you, sir. So I started looking back through my videos, and I said, hey, here's one right here. Here's a good proof right here. Look at this. This guy's on the other side of the curve. Look how big he is. Compare the size of him. Compare his boat. He's sitting in the water out there where he's obviously the bottom of the boat is covered up and hidden. Well, what are some of the things that can hide boats? Hide these things. Could we have downward refraction, upward refraction, where this boat's actually on the other side of the curve, and then it gets popped up above the curve by this magical force, like the magical force of gravity. Gravity's got to work, man. Just jump off a building, you flathead. You fall off and kill yourself. Yay, yay. Gotta love that, right? So, even though I didn't have, this is the height of my camera right here, even though I wasn't on that boat at the time I took this video, just wanted to show I was using a different tripod, and this one stands up a little bit higher at this height because I got this tracking mount on it. So with this tracking mount, it adds about 6 inches or so to the height of my tripod. So then, I'm looking at it and I say, okay, this tripod's about 3 feet off the ground. And then you look down off the seawall, which I got this thing right along the edge of the seawall, and you can see that it's, a couple more feet. So, we can say we're about 5 feet from the water. Maybe 6 if that tides out 3 more feet. And then here's another little shot that I did last night where I went out and did a little videotaping, and I caught this boat out there. And I said, this is interesting. The bottom of the boat's missing again. Or wait a minute. Was it? Because all of a sudden, man, I could actually see the wake of the boat blocking out the back of the boat because of the angle that boat is on. So I said, this is pretty strange, man. What's going on here? Is this some more magical force of refraction? Now look at that tripod. Not very high off the water. And the water's a little bit deeper here. Or higher up the wall. So I'm figuring my tripod's up 28 inches. Right here, that's my proof of 28 inches. That's how high my tripod sets up. And then I had maybe a 1.5 feet to the water. So that's a grand total of 3 foot 10 inches. So, I don't always give the exact height of my camera because I'm not going to crawl down the seawall with a tape measure and stick it in the water and then try to do all this crap because I'm trying to film, got a cell phone in my hand and, all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, looky here, this boat pops up and somebody says, well, there you go. There you go. There's your proof of the curve. It's, bottom up. It's missing part of the bottom, man. I mean, it's pretty obvious, dude. Then open your eyes, you blind flat. Ooh, don't say it. Don't say it. But, this boat's coming in on me on an angle. Then, with my camera being able to adjust the compensation exposure for the light, sometimes the light will blind you. and then darkness will blind you too. But just the right amount of light is always good, because if you get the right amount of light, right amount of visibility, and light and visibility go along together, all of a sudden, you can start seeing the wake of this boat. The wake of this boat right here really gives it away, because as you watch it, you say, well, what's going on here, Mr. Wide Awake? Look at there, you're showing another boat. Kind of missing here. It's disappeared. It's going over the curvature of Earth. Now, I have to ask you, is it really, or is it because of your resolution, angular resolution? Is it light diffraction, diffracting up, blocking out the boat? Is it part of the mirage? Because mirage is like Soundly. He puts up this video about a Lake Pontchartrain, and he takes some pictures of it and video, and he claims that there's proof of the curvature of Earth because it curves down. Well, any damn fool would know that he's taking a picture of a mirage, and in that mirage he's going to show you optical distortion, an optical illusion. So in turn, look at this boat. Look at the wake. You can see the water splashing out, and that water splashing out is covering the back of that boat. And when you got it in the water, it kind of blends into the water because of the angular resolution, and because it's so small, you can hardly see that wake. But there it is. And if you watch and pay attention, you'll start noticing that that wake is what's blocking out the bottom of the boat. Now, see, I knew, and I've been saying this all along, that the wake's part of the problem, because when it's in the mirage, you don't see the wake of the boat. But when you got the right visibility, the right amount of light hitting the water, all of a sudden, you can see this wake. And that wake, now look carefully, you little ball babies, because that wake is what's blocking out the boat. It's optics, man. And this is what throws people off. It's an illusion. And look at how these other wakes of these other boats even block out some of that boat. So this boat is actually coming out of the west. It's coming northward. So it's going northwest or northeast, excuse me. And it's coming in on an angle. So I'm getting an angle shot of the side of that boat. It's not a perfect shot at a 90-degree angle of that boat on the side. It's on an angle. And when you look at these angles, you got to ask yourself, how is this possible on sea level? This is sea level. So how is this even possible that we can see this when this boat's on the other side of the curve? How can we see its wake? Is there some kind of magical force pulling that boat up from behind the curve, making it visible for us to see its wake? Oh my goodness gracious. Now, excuse me for my camera work, because, you're out here, I'm sitting in, sand, and trying to work this tripod and work my camera and keep it on the boat. But obviously, you can see this boat, and you can obviously see that it is the wake of the boat blocking out the back of the boat. And in one part here, I believe you'll see the guy in the back of the boat. And when you take that guy that's in the back of the boat and you compare it to something up closer, you got to ask yourself, how far away this boat is. When I first picked him up, some people say, oh man, he's only a couple miles away. Well, I know for a fact that the islands are 5.5 to 6 miles away from me, depending on which part of them islands, them Hernando Beach Islands, I film. And when you watch these boats come out of that channel, even then sometimes you don't see the wake. Why is that? Because of that light diffracting off the water. Water is a good reflective material for light to reflect off of or diffract off of. So a lot of times what we're getting is light diffraction blocking us out. Now here it becomes a lot more obvious how that wake is literally blocking out the bottom end of that boat. So bottom's up, disappears, boat's bottom up, you know. Hey, Mr. Wide Awake, it's obvious that that boat is disappearing bottom up. So think about this when that boat gets out there to where that wake is so small that all you're going to see is that little sliver of that boat in the back. And then you're going to tell me that that is obviously the curvature of Earth? Yeah, I'm joining you guys. Ooh, what about that little boat right there hauling ass? Did you see the wake? Wow. Wow. I must be sleeping, man. I must be one of them blind guys that can't see. Uh, Well, I am because I'm telling you, man. This is the globe, man. There ain't no sea level out there. That water ain't level. It's got a curve 3 miles out, and it drops like a rock. So come on, you flat tards, wake up. Smell the coffee beans. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Billy Steele's rack right there. Oh my goodness. Billy Steele, it can't be Billy Steele because that's like 9 miles out, man. Wait a minute. What about that boat? Hey, go back to that other boat. No, I'm going to track down this other boat here. No. Let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, where am I going? Man, I don't know. People, I just like scanning the horizon, seeing what I can see, and then, on bad days of visibility, I wouldn't even have been able to see that boat because he would have been just a little blob. All right. Have a good day.